Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Whiskey Wednesday night here on the Mash and Drum. Tonight, we get to dive into some new bottles that just picked up recently. And not only that, we're going to be doing all sorts of comparisons. It's going to be that type of night. Comparisons, new bottles, new whiskeys, putting the cheesy gold foil to the test, or the new, I'm sorry, I can't call it cheesy gold foil. We'll call it the Austin Nichols Archives Gold Foil Edition from... I don't have much left in my sample bottle, but we're going to use this a little bit. So what is going on, everybody? It's going to be a real fun night tonight. We're going to get into all of it. We have the Deep from Reveries, which was a buddy of mine got me this bottle because I did not hit on the Reveries Lotto, unfortunately. The new Blood Oath. I did say I wasn't going to buy these anymore. There's a reason why I bought this one, which we'll get into. And we have the Rare Perfection 10-year that's gotten a lot of good publicity. We're going to be putting the new Bookers, which I'm in love with, the Big Easy batch. We're putting that right against Country Ham tonight. So, guys, it's going to be a hell of a night, hell of a show, great whiskey. Pour something good, sip along, and let's go. Let's say hi to a bunch of people in the chat here. We have R. Flinch who came in. He just became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. George's Tip Sitch 2673. Glad to see. What does that say? Oh, glad to see the Deep on here. Was hoping you try to review. I'm in Virginia, close to Middleburg. If you ever want to try samples or bots, holla. I will, dude. Yeah, I tend not to. I don't get as lucky as some of my buddies doing those lotteries. Gobble gobble from Trav. What's up, man? Steve A is here. What's going on? Yeah, pull out some wild turkey. Nixon 5. Dude, that game last night, I was freaking out, dude. Freaking out. I'll actually tell you a kind of a funny story about last night, which made me laugh. We got the Bourbon Coach is here. Nathan Jurgensen is here. Russell's Reserve 15 in the Glen tonight. We got Jason Pruitt. What's up, Jason K? Sandeep Chima is here. Who else? Of course, EMC is here. Come in, mash buttons, do things. Josh Fritz is here. What's up, Fritzy? Nice to see you, man. We got Justin Jenkins. Let's see. Rees Mash is here. Cheers all. Copper and Cask 11-year in the glass tonight. First time trying this brand. Copper and Cask has some sneaky good releases, especially some of the single barrels. Our group has done a single barrel. Yeah, Hello Again Whiskey Friends has done a few epic ones. There's been some really good ones that have been hanging around. Jeepman 103 is there. What's going on? We got Bo's Wine Guy in the house. We got Top Dog. What's up? Nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. My bourbon buddy. Let's go, Nix. Let's go, Turkey. That's right. A-Brod is here. Dr. Sped is here. He's got some rye symbol in the Glen. Such a tasty rye. Glad you're enjoying that, man. Jason Kobe, Tim Romero. DeWalt is here. He said he's waiting. Well, we're here, DeWalt. Jeff Perkins in the house. Joe the Sample Guy. Keep Calm and Love Beer is here. Freeport Steve. What's going on, Steve? N33. N33 Frage. What's going on? Jay Reekin is here. What's going on, Jay? I did have Golden Pheasant Slovak beer with Molson Canadian beer 2 weeks ago. That counts. Bourbon Lovers here. Taste and Sensibility. Mike T. WPB. Big Vic is, of course, here. He's the first one to bring up the old power bottom joke from last week, which I got so many hilarious messages about that last week. It was ridiculous. It was so freaking funny. Somebody put a song to it. It didn't stop for like 3 days. Bourbon Coach Maurizio Pastenis is here. Andreas Bellaris McEwen 5000. I was attending OTA Fest last weekend. That's cool. Yep, there it is. Of course, Big Vic. Go sit in the corner for 10 minutes. Mike Ives, JG, Jeff Winbush, and a bunch more people coming in. All right. Oh, we have our first super chat of the night coming from Robert Schemmer, my favorite night of the week. Thanks, Jason. $2. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. My favorite night of the week, too, actually. Jeff Wack, I hope you do great tonight, but I'm rooting for my guy, Andrew. Let's go, Bo's Wine Guy. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're talking about the head-to-head? I don't know if we'll do that tonight. We'll see. I've just a lot of whiskey to go back and forth with. I can't believe you got me considering Booker's again. Outside the Star, just hear me out, man. Let me compare it to the country ham tonight, and then we'll go from there. Thrasher's in the house. Nice to see you. Prescription Bourbon's here. Robert Shea. N2 Bourbon. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. We already have a packed house. Already 256 people watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hit the like button below while you're here. Appreciate it. And if it's your first time here, subscribe and do all the things. Oh, cheers, host Mike T. WPB with a $19.99 super chat. Dude, thank you so much. That's really cool of you. Just because of that. Let's see. What can we play here? You get to see me fall. I fell. Old school, baby. Never gets old. Me falling my ass. That Blood Oath is surprisingly good. Cheers, bro, says Trig65. $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're actually going to start with that because it's a low proof. It's only 98.6. But actually, no, we were going to start with something else. I have to try this. I got this box, I think, the beginning of the week last week, maybe even the week before. You guys might have seen this being laying around on some Instagrams. This is the new honey, Green River honey. There you go. Look at that. It comes with a little jar of honey and one of those honey wands. I don't know what you call it. We got a nice little honey wand there. All right. I have not tried this. I think the story on this is they literally are dipping honey, like putting honey in the barrel, but it says finished bourbon whiskey. So I don't know. Let's see what it says here. A lot of bourbon drinkers won't touch honey. Okay, when people hear honey flavored, okay, blah. We add 100% real, locally sourced honey directly into the barrel, letting thyme and oak do the rest. Instead of honey flavored, we go honey finished. Okay. 92 proof. This is what real tastes like. It's so bespoke. Oh shit. I think I hit my mic a little bit too far out. There we go. Hey, I'll take the honey. It's legally finished, but that's so misleading. That's flavored. Yeah, it feels flavored, but let's give it a go. That's right. The cheesy smile. I have not tried this yet. See how honey forward it is. I mean, I feel like honey has been making a comeback. Cedar Ridge came out with a honey finish. Sealbox just released another honey finish. I've seen at least a couple more honey finishes from a couple of other labels. Green River has a honey finish now. It's like, why all the honey finishes all of a sudden again? It's kind of an interesting trend. It's like a little micro trend. Dude, when you just winked in my head, I heard ding. Exactly. How are they getting away with bourbon on the label? It's finished. On the label, it's finished. Delicious, but because of you, I'm going to sink money into Little Book and Booker's this year. S&P my bank account, says Freeport Steve. I'm not sure. It's a good question. Well, the one thing they could be doing, maybe they're just leaving out a step as far as like the I don't actually want the mic in the shot, but if I sound better with the mic a little bit closer, guys, just let me know. I just didn't want it in the shot. I'm Batman Dummy 490s here. I'm sipping some Widow Jane Decadence Maple Finish right now. Yeah, the original Bell Mead Honey is what started it all. But man, there's been so many iterations since then. And here's the thing about this one. If they're leaving out a step, now generally when you talk with distillers that use honey, they will finish a barrel or pour some fresh honey in a barrel, let it sit in there, maybe roll it around, get the honey into the staves, and then empty it before, I guess, empty it as best they can. Not really sure how you empty honey. It's so like thick and gooey. I feel like it just attaches itself to the staves, to the inside of the barrel, and then you fill the bourbon with it after that. or maybe they water it down. I know honey barrels can be a pain in the ass because honey contracts the wood. It sucks all the moisture out. So what they have to do is rehydrate the barrel with water before, water, so the barrel can expand again and stay tight. So when they fill it with whiskey, nothing will leak. So I've heard a lot of different theories on how in different ways they use honey, but apparently this is bourbon honey finished. So let's go for it, guys. Wait, Maurizio, what was that? What's up, Jason? Hey, what's up? That was my 7-year-old wanting to say hi to Jason. What's up, Maurizio? I don't know what your kid's name is, but hi, buddy. Or hi. Yeah, water. So man, it's very honey. This is like borderline wild honey from Wild Turkey. It's like borderline like that much honey in it. Oh, what's up, Ethan? Thanks for saying hi. Oh my goodness. That's all I smell is honey. Honey, it's floral. There might be a little bit of like that. Might be like just a little twinge of like that Green River peachiness that you get. Let's give it a try. 93 proof on this. Oh yeah, that is honey all day long. Honey, 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 honey. This is, you know what? I actually went down the wrong pipe. Actually, it does have a nice little sneaky finish on it. A little bit spicy, but that was my first pour of the day, so. Oh yeah, there it goes. Now it's smoothed out. I don't see any gobs of honey or any Winnie the Pooh, any remnants of Winnie the Pooh in there. First sip was nice, but yeah, the bourbon jerks, I agree. The honey becomes so overpowering. I feel like you have to mix this. But I could see people just grabbing one of these and pouring in a glass with a whole bunch of ice, letting the water do its job and maybe diluting it a little bit, maybe calming down the honey a little bit. But yeah, this is a perfect whiskey for the summertime. You just want to sit back, relax, but you have to really like honey because it's very, very honey forward. I feel like if they did dump some 100% honey in the barrel, they didn't get a lot more out of it. But yeah, I mean, you mix this with like ginger ale, lemonade, iced tea. Yeah, that could be a dangerous cocktail. And I'm sure, knowing Green River, they probably have all of a sudden they probably I think they already did when we were there. I was there a couple weeks ago, and they already had a featured cocktail using this, which makes sense. Oh God, there's so much honey in that. So much honey. All right. Yeah, it's super crushable. Yeah, William Hall, it's definitely a mood pour, but it's only like $35. So, Green River, again, coming to the market with something super cheap, affordable. That is going to be a mass market type of whiskey. A lot of people are going to love that. Maybe not so much the bourbon nerds, but definitely for the masses. People that don't like to drink stuff that's too strong. I feel like a lot of maybe younger drinkers that are getting into whiskey might really like that. Yeah, you don't mind using a cocktail for $35. It's a very smart release. You seen those 24-year Bartons going around? Any thoughts? Yeah, 96 Milliman. I have one on the way. I did purchase one because I'm an idiot. I just wanted to try 24-year Barton. It was expensive, but I'm gonna I think that was like I'm gonna buy this because I'm not gonna spend $3,000 on the Stitzel Weller. So yeah. Oh, take care, EMC. Nice to see you. So people that like Blanton's, yeah, maybe. Jason, that'll probably be someone's daily dram. Yeah, it could be Richie Z. For the price, I'd get it to try. I'm telling you, for a mixer in the summertime, put that thing in some lemonade. That thing's gonna be delicious with some lemonade, little blackberry. Need some blackberry in there too. Okay, I gotta stop. Make myself hungry. All right, guys. Blood Oath Pack 12. Are we really up to number 12? Bananas. Yeah, no sticker. Oh, that's right. It's 20. Actually, yeah, I think it's cheaper than 35. It's $22.99 there. Holy crap. Super cheap. That's because there's no whiskey in it. It's all honey. All right. Is the bottle cam on? No. Bottle cam's not on yet. Let me get this rolling, guys, so we can show you. All right. So why did I buy this? Skipped last year's, got this year's. Mainly because it was the Italian in me. This bottle or this whiskey is finished in Italian wine cask. So Montepulciano, which is my favorite type of Italian wine. I love it. And it's also finished in Sangiovese casks. So it's a combination of two different Italian wine casks. I'm a huge fan of Montepulciano, so I really wanted to try that. And also Sangiovese, it's a big, bold Italian wine, so I feel like, I don't know, I kind of wanted to try that. So here is the breakdown. It's, let's see, 9-year, 12-year, and 7-year bourbon finished in first Montepulciano casks and then in Sangiovese casks. Montepulciano is a fruit-forward dry red wine from Abruzzo region of Italy. Infuses the bourbon with deep notes of black cherry. Okay, I'll skip that. Sangiovese is a savory, dry Italian wine, primarily for the Tuscany region, that elevates the nose as well. Of course, as always, it's 98.6 proof and comes in at a price of $129.99. So there you go. Let me. This should be up and running. There we go. There it is. They really went into like the wine color of the label. It's obviously impossible to read. You can't read that script, but it is the Blood Oath. There you go. Can't stay watching the Thunder. Cheers all. Smash a like, please. Oh, thank you, Lenny. Yeah, I mean the NBA. The first games, the first two games of the NBA East and West Finals have been incredible. The Knicks game yesterday, what Wembanyama did in the first game against the Thunder. I don't know what's going on tonight, but yeah. Try some Amarone. Oh, I love Amarone Bourbon Buffalo. That stuff is ridiculous. That's why I was really excited about the Amarone finished. Do you remember the Amarone finish that I believe it was, who did an Amarone finish? Yellowstone did one. Yellowstone. Is it Yellowstone? Am I thinking of the TV show? Yeah, Yellowstone Bourbon. Yeah, Yellowstone Bourbon did an Amarone finish. I actually kind of dug that one. It wasn't too bad. But this one, being an Italian wine finish, I wanted to check this out, see how it was. I don't expect like big things from this one. But, you know, I was a sucker for trying this one out. Thunder are up. Knicks Spurs finals, bro. Second time's a charm for New York. So I'm not really picking up a lot of the wine on the nose, at least. That's kind of been my gripe about these. I appreciate the finishes that they put together here, but I think sometimes they're so light. They're just almost too light on the delicate notes that are from those finishing casks. It's like I want a little bit more of it. I don't want it to be over finished, but I don't want it to be under finished either. You know what I mean? It's like somewhere in the middle would be nice. It might need some airtime. I feel like I'm getting more of the wine now, a little bit. It's definitely fruit forward. Yeah, it was a little bit toit. A little bit toit, like a toiga. Rarebird has 2 new 12-year Rockin' Tours. One is finished in bourbon barrel, calls it Renegade. Yeah, I haven't gotten, I think I missed those, unfortunately. Okay, so now I'm getting the wine. Just needed a minute. But I'm also getting a lot of the... So, by the way, these are all rye mash bourbons. There's no wheated bourbons in here. I'm guessing this is all maybe a mix of the Heaven Hill stuff that they source, as well as maybe their own distillate, because I think their 6 and 7 year stuff is now distilled by them. But still hard to tell if they used whatever Heaven Hill stocks they had left to create this or not. Obviously, the 12 year is going to be Heaven Hill stuff. And I feel like I get that nose on here. All right, let's give this one a try. Meh. Is that an official tasting note? Meh. that's what it feels like. It's all right. I mean, I do get the 12-year. I do get the 12-year influence on the back end of it, which isn't too bad. The age shows up on the finish along with the wine, but the front of the palate just leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, you know what? On this one, the wine finish is there. I can get the wine. I get the Italian wine. There's definitely a dark fruit tone to it overall, more than you would get with just drinking a standard Heaven Hill. That was a really quick breakdown on that bourbon. Yeah, that was my fastest breakdown. But yeah, you do get a nice wooden box. Just like, I just wish these were bolder. This has actually some decent flavors to it. I don't mind it. It drinks a little thin, obviously being proof to 98.6. I just feel like if these had just some more proof to it, I just think it would do this a world of difference for this release each and every year. You get the wine. The good thing about this, you get the wine finish. You do get the 12-year age statement influence on the back end of it, but the front of the palate is just so thin and it's very fleeting. You just kind of take a sip. It just goes right through your palate, and then it hits when it hits the finish, you do get some nice flavors. But other than that, this isn't one I would tell you guys to go run out and pick up. Obviously, if you're collecting the vertical on these, as some people do, they want every single one, then have at it. These are just sitting around now. Nobody's really buying these too much anymore. But yeah, it's fine. It's not $130 good. There's nothing memorable about it to be like, I gotta have that. The wine finish is nice, but it doesn't give me like you have to go run out and buy this vibes. So there you go. Quick review on the Blood Oath. $130 gone. If they could get these at cask strength at 98.6, that would be interesting, says Dustin Klosterhoff. I mean, it would be interesting, but they would have to source their whiskey from a completely different source. They would have to go to like Michter's, Peerless, Wilderness Trail, somebody that uses those really low entry proofs where cask strength is a lot more closer to 98.6. You got to remember, Heaven Hill goes in the barrel 125. I mean, if that stuff's coming out at 130, 128 plus, 130 plus, that's a lot of water to add to get down to 98.6 by the time it's all said and done, unfortunately. So there you go. If Blood Oath did anything but 98.6, it would be interesting. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Pound a Few. I think Matt from ADHD Whiskey had the best idea ever. Come out with one that's like 100, 103, 104 proof. Call it the Fever Edition, and just see how it would do. You know, because 98.6, it's based on the body temperature. It's why it's Blood Oath. Come out with one that's like 104, 106. You know, give it the Fever Edition. I thought that was a brilliant idea. If they ever did that, that would probably be a very well received Blood Oath. Obviously, the flavor would have to live up to the hype of that, the proof overall. But I think it would be an interesting idea, interesting release if they did that. Hospital visit at 100. Say, yeah, there you go. 107 proofs of hospital. So maybe keep it at like 104, 105. You think they would hike the price up too? It's already expensive enough. I was not impressed. First time buying. Yeah, I totally get it. Save $100 and get the Green River Honey, says Ken Davis. Oh, man. Okay, what should I do next, guys? I have the rare character. Not rare character. Oh, God, rare character. I have the rare Perfection 10. I have the Deep. I have the new Maker's Stewards release. What do you guys want me to try next here? Want to get into the Makers a little bit? What do you guys want me to do? Everyone wants me to do the Deep. Okay. 107 Forever Seizure Edition. Oh, my God, Mark. I've been collecting for, oh, my gosh, everybody. Blood Oath, Fever Dream, Deep. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey Wack? Makers, Rare Perfection. A lot of people saying Deep. I've been collecting for a little while, but I'm afraid to open too many bottles at once. How long can you have a whiskey open before the flavor starts to grade? Says Mick Silveri. You'll get a lot of different answers for this, Mick. But honestly, if you're storing your whiskey in a cool, dry place, no sun directly on the bottle, it could last for a very long time. Now, if you have a bottle that you're trying to preserve as long as you can, I don't know, say you have a bottle of Pappy and you shared maybe a quart of the bottle left and you're scared it's going to, maybe degrade in flavor a little bit over time. Obviously, store it in a cool, dry place, but really the best way to preserve your whiskey is to transfer them to smaller bottles that have less, air in them. So if your bottle gets like halfway down, you're like, oh crap, go find a smaller bottle with a cork. You could pour that one in, cork it, less air, less room, less of a chance for oxidation to alter the flavor of the whiskey. But honestly, that's not going to happen for a very, very long time. But if it is stored in a hot place with sun and somewhere that has a lot of humidity, the oxidation could happen a little bit faster. That's really the best advice I can give you. Don't worry about gassing your whiskey and doing all this other bullshit. The best way to do it, just pour it in a smaller bottle to keep it better for longer if you're afraid of oxidation. 3 years, the finish degrades. I have tested this with smaller sample bottles versus same bottle still on my shelf. Yeah, I think 3 to 4 years for me is when I feel like I can taste something there's just too much oxidation going on. But if you transfer to a smaller bottle, you're going to very much, I'm not going to say you're going to negate that, but you'll definitely slow it down for a while. Marty gasses his whiskey. That's good for Marty. Marty gasses it. What is he, fought in it? Yeah, don't store it in a solarium. Good idea. Good idea, William Hall. All right. Let me do the Makers real quick, and then we'll do the Deep because I want to do the Deep versus the PFG. So we'll do that. But I want to taste this Makers real quick. I've been seeing a lot of great reviews for this. They're saying that this is like the sweetest one they've had yet. Now, just as a quick follow-up here, guys, this is the new wood finishing series because Makers can't give us enough of the wood finishing series. Now, if you remember, they had 2 before this. So in this series, I think this is number 3, right? Yeah, they had one in 2024. This is 3 of 5, so there's going to be 2 more. They had the Heart release, and they had the Keepers release. So this is now the steward's release. Apparently, this release is dedicated to the people that are in charge of inventory, stocking, stocking barrels, stocking shelves. The people that make the you're basically your people in your warehouse, your people that are doing logistics, everybody that's behind the scenes at your distillery. That's what this is for. Those are who the stewards are. So that's what this bottle is for. Now, I'm trying to remember out of the last two, which one I liked more than the other. I'm trying to remember. I think I really liked the Keepers. Maybe it was the Heart. I don't remember. I know one of them I liked quite a bit. It was definitely a different, darker profile than what we're used to with Makers. So I want to see if this is what it is here. Remember when the wood finishing series was ending? And then they just changed the bottle design. Yeah, they changed the bottle design and did a new wood finishing series with a new twist on a story. Sloth Jazz. I have always found it interesting that whiskey bottles are transparent. Glasses light degrades it over time. Well, that's because also on the flip side of that, people want to see the whiskey. They want to see how dark the color is. So I think that also helps the marketing of a bottle. But I do get that point too. You put a little bit, if it gets hit with a lot of sunlight, it could degrade the whiskey a little bit. Jason is Makers the AC/DC bourbon. Variations of the same thing. I mean, in a way, for sure. All right, let me see how the stewards goes here. And then we'll get into the deep. What proof is my stewards? This one is, what does that say? 100. God, my eyes are really bad. 113.3. 113.3. Typical Makers cast strength-ish proof, I guess, right? We have 400 people watching. What is up, guys? We're going to be getting into some really cool bourbons here in a little bit, so stick around. We also have some news, some new labels, 2 bourbon memes of the week. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up tonight, guys. All right, let's get this one. Well, I got to give you some notes on the nose here, guys. Sorry. What is that? I mean, it smells like a typical Makers, but it doesn't. And I don't know if it's because of the Green River honey, but I get honey on this. I get cornbread, but toasted cornbread. There was a 109 Stewards too. Oh, okay. Is it better than the new cast strength, which is some of the best Maker's Mark I've ever had? I don't know, Brad Tanica. I actually agree with that. I think the new Maker's Mark age-stated cast strengths have been really good. I've only had like 2 bottles, but the 2 I had were, I was like, oh, this is really nice for Makers. It kind of didn't have that weird aftertaste I was getting. All right. It's got some funk. It definitely has some funk on it. Maybe even like a little bit of like a chocolate note on here. It does say honey on here. It says stone fruit too. I don't know if I'm getting stone fruit yet. Let's give it a try. Oh, that is sweet. And now I do get stone fruit. That is very sweet. Wow. It's like cloyingly sweet to me. It's like borderline, like sweet and low aspartame type of sweetness. You know what I mean? I do like that it doesn't finish like a typical Maker's Mark. This stays more into the, again, that candy sweetness. The honey is there. A little bit like a sweet tart type of candy. But it never gets into like that weird sour wheat grain note that I normally get from Makers, which I think is a good thing. I think it works to this bottle's advantage. I don't know. I'll have to compare all 3. Maybe I'll do that a little later if we have time. But I like this one. I dig it. I could see this being really crushable, especially at the proof. It's super sweet. It's a different. It's a little bit. It's different enough from a standard Maker's that I feel like if you like Maker's Mark, this could be a nice bottle to have. However, saying that, I feel like from what I remember, I still probably prefer the Keepers or the Heart Release over this, just because they're darker, and I just like darker flavors. I don't mind fruit and honey and stuff, but if you give me a little bit more oak, some chocolate, some deep brown sugars, I'm going to veer towards that more than this. Yeah, it's about $69, $70, $75, depending on where you are. Like the honey that I drank make it sweeter. I don't know. I think that's pretty much out of my system here, but yeah, it's good. It's a solid Maker's Mark. It's not going to win Whiskey of the Year or anything like that, but again, in this wood finishing series telling these stories, I will say these have been interesting. They've been a little bit of a nice departure from typical Makers. Now, again, let's be honest. It's a regurgitation of the same shit that they've been doing for the last, 5 years. Just rebranding it, re-storytelling it, re-bespoking it, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. So, but it's not to say it makes it bad. It just means it's kind of the same thing in a different, different shiny package. But I do enjoy this one. It's pretty good. I like it. I would not overpay for it. And in some cases, that could be a bottle that goes on sale in some areas. Let me take one more sip, then we'll get ready to do the deep. Oh, baby. Oh, that sip, I just got apple. Apple, honey, sugar. Yeah. I could totally see that being super crushable. It's very sweet. It's a nice sweet whiskey. It's definitely not your typical Maker's bottle. Definitely worth the buy. It says outside the star. Yeah, it's definitely it's not typical. The price on these usually drops after some time. Also, I'm collecting them all. This is my wood finishing series, and I'll stop when it's over. And when they take out a new wood finishing series, that's pretty much what will happen. All right. I've been waiting to try this bottle. I really did. I just got this the other day. Oh, shit. I really tried hard not to open this because I wanted to crack it live with you guys. So this is the Reveries, The Deep, brought to you by Jay West. This is straight bourbon whiskey finished in French oak casks. You guys know I love my French oak. 57.65% ABV, number 1. And there we go. Now, I did pull out some bottles because I was anticipating you guys telling me to compare it. And we're going to compare it with the probably one of the best French oak bottles I've had. Now, I will say the proof on this makes it a little bit disappointing, but that's what Michter's does. All right, we're just going to put this to the side a little bit because I want to focus on the deep first, and let's see what we get out of this. As you guys know, or may not know, I have two different French oak projects that I'm working on for Drumkey. Those have been cooking at Barrel King down in Bourbon, Missouri for probably 4 months now. The rye whiskey took really fast. I did an 8 to 9 year rye blend and threw it in those French oak barrels. Or was it a 7 and 8? I didn't want to use too much of an older rye because I wanted the French oak to do its thing, especially with a char 5s and alligator char barrel with a light toast. The bourbon blend I did was a wild turkey blend, 7 and 8 year wild turkey. Threw that in the char 1 heavy toast French oak barrel, and those are going to definitely have to take a lot longer until those are ready. Right now, it kind of tastes like a toasted wild turkey, and it's going to need more time to get that full flavored French oak, I guess, influence that I'm looking for. So, yeah. But the rye whiskey took so much influence so fast. I dumped 3 of those. There's 5 barrels. I dumped 3 of them already because what already had happened in the barrel was really good. But now we're going to let the other 2 barrels cook through the summer and see what happens, because I didn't want to overdo it for all of them. So I don't know. We'll see what it turns into. Never worked with French oak, so it should be a fun project. Found a PFG for 300. Yeah, Rees Mash, that's crazy. The aftermarket on the PFGs are still very high. I saw one today for 500 somebody was trying to sell for. So the low proof of the PFG is why I traded it. Not that it was bad. No, it was very good. Just too low proof for me, Bourbon Buffalo. Yeah, that's completely understandable. I like it because of I just love tasting that French oak influence. I do wish it had a longer finish. Most French oak whiskeys do have a long finish because it does infuse a lot of spice into the whiskey from the barrel. But that one, you do get the spice, but again, it's just the proof really, kind of mellows it out a little bit too much for me. All right, let's get into the deep here. Oh, actually, I meant to pull up the, let's see. I meant to pull up the components for this. So this is, over 21. There's the deep. So this is all Kentucky bourbon. So there's no age statement here. I'm not sure how old are these. No coloring, no filtering, no additives. It's barrel strength, 115.3 proof. And yeah, Kentucky whiskey. That's it. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Sean 857 with the $10 super chat. Hey, Jason, how about an episode dedicated to the whiskey noobs of the best bottles to keep available to share, which would likely get someone started in journeying down the rabbit hole, says Sean. Yeah, I know I've been saying this for like years. I just haven't gotten around to doing it, but I'm supposed to do like my follow-up to start a bourbon collection for $400. Obviously, I'll have to up that with the way the prices have gone up, so I'm going to probably bump that up to like 500. So I will definitely make an effort to do that video. So it's just basically starting a bourbon collection with $500 in your pocket, and then how you can pretty much cover all your bases. I do a lot of research for it, so I'll definitely work on that. Whiskey knows. How is that even a question for him? Oh, is this even a fair fight with the difference in proof? I mean, Jason, it's not so much the proof I'm looking for here. I'm looking for the French oak influence. That's what I want to test. So, all right, let's get into the deep. So this is all Kentucky. Well, right off the bat, you do get the French oak spice. French oak has a very distinct baking spice note, and that is straight off the bat immediately what I first get. See in the chat. It's a nice little definitely dark fruit. It's a nice mix of what French oak does, but also whatever the backbone of the whiskey here is, the bourbon, because I get a lot of heavy caramel, toffee, and then getting into the French oak influence. There's a lot of barrel spice. There's a lot of baking spice, but there's also a lot of dark fruit here. There's also a little bit of almost like a black cherry cola thing I'm getting in here, or maybe like a cherry cola. Or just a plain cola. There's a cola, like a sugary cola note in here, which is kind of cool. I'm looking for like that milk chocolate note that I get from French oak. Not really getting it here. It's way more fruit forward than I would think. Let me go to the PFG now. See the PFG, the nose on the PFG. The nose, excuse me. the nose on the PFG is just, like, to me, it's another level. Not to say that the nose on the Deep is bad, but the Bombergers, I mean, this smells like it's like a 25-year-old whiskey. It's got so much barrel funk and barrel char and French oakiness, the chocolate. It's like a bitter dark chocolate. It's got very rickhousey types of oak influence in this, which I think sets it apart. Yeah, a lot more oak, Legalbo, for sure. You have to, and I said that from the beginning when I reviewed it, you have to like oak if you're going to buy a bottle of the PFG. You have to like oak. There's no hiding it. The Deep is a little bit more delicate on the French oak side. So I feel like I want my my French oak to be somewhere in the middle of this if I can get it there. But we'll see how that works out. All right, let's try it. Wow. Again, first of all, the viscosity is freaking amazing. Another reason why I like French oak. French oak is a very tight grain oak profile. Gives a lot of viscosity to the whiskey, which is another reason why I love French oak. But the Luxardo cherry syrup note I'm getting in this is so good. I get molasses on the palate. I'm still getting that cola note. All the spices on the back of the palate. I guess I missed it. Why are we comparing this to PFG? French oak finishes. French oak finishes. Oh, George Stipp, I would not doubt it, man. That French oak really evolves in the bottle and also in the glass. This could definitely be a different whiskey by the time it's said and done. I was downstairs pouring another one. My newest favorite bottle is Jackson Purchase. Thanks, Jason. Isn't that stuff so good? The Jackson Purchase batch number 2 of their cast strength we should see this year too, so keep an eye out for that. Probably more around fall time. So there's a moment on the palate here between the front of the palate, it's viscous, it's sweet, it's peppery. Then there's a moment in the mid palate where I feel like you really taste the French oak. Spice, chocolate, but it's like a very quick pop of it. And then it gets into the spice and again that syrup, that sweet cherry syrup note that I'm getting on the back end. The viscosity is stupid. That is the best part of French oak, why I love it so much. But I will say this. This tastes more, to me, like a... How do I say this? Like if I tried that for the first time, other than the viscosity, I don't know if I'd get French oak right away. Now, French oak comes in many different varietals, so it's just like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, I could pick out French oak out of a blind. I'd be lying. But viscosity, for me, is a big tell about French oak. But this gives you way more of the dark fruit and the viscosity side of French oak, whereas the PFG, oh my God, it's so funky. This is almost like a dusty throwback type of nose. Yeah, the PFG side, this is old, also viscous for the proof. I still don't think it's as viscous as the Deep. But, man, you get a lot of... The dark fruit here is everything in the PFG is just like it's like caramelized. Everything is cooked down just a little bit more than it is in the deep, but it's also more oak forward. It's more woody. It's more tannicky. But the finish is nowhere near what you get here in the deep, to be honest. What's up, Mojo? Yeah, and then going back to it, man, this has a lot of chocolate to me too. Whereas the deep doesn't really get into chocolate, it gets more into the dark fruit layers. So they're very, I mean, these are two very different whiskeys. I don't, comparing them, I think everybody loves to compare. I think that everybody was, when I was on the hunt for this one, they were like, oh, you got to compare it to the PFG. For me, they're two different experiences. So either you like the more oaky, tannicky, chocolatey, maybe lower proof PFG, or you go for this, which is definitely a bolder experience, but leans for me more into the dark fruit tones of French oak. So on the nose, and I think this is going to go away with airtime, but I'm getting like a sawdusty note, which is prevalent in some French oak whiskeys. The palate is so jammy. Oh, it's so good. And I love the proof point. I think French oak, under 120 proof, just sings. Not that low of proof, but right here in the 1 teens, yeah. I really like this. Trying to like remember if there are any other French oak barrels that I've had that I really like that I would compare to this. It's tough. There's not many really good French oak barrels out there. There really isn't. Bless up prescription. Blondes versus brunettes situation here. Both a ton of fun. Cathedral. Andrew. That's a great call out. Cathedral was an amazing French oak finish. Cathedral, I would probably put up there with this as well. Cathedral was also very dark fruit forward. I don't know. The more I sip this, I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, this has some really good attributes. I do like it. I think it's not as French oaky as I would want it. I feel like it leans a little bit more towards the bourbon side of things. I would want it a little bit more French oaky, but that's me. But I think this is a very, very good bottle for people. Even if you've never had or liked French oak, this is a really great way to get into it. Willet Estate 8-year French oak. Yeah, funky finger style. I have not had that one. Be interested to try it though. Cathedral was dark fruit forward like the deep, almost like the base liquid could be similar. Yeah, totally agree. Quick question: are all these one-offs from the Reveries outside the start? Yeah, usually they are. They're kind of one-off, going to be made, never going to be made again. I would assume he's going to make another one of these, maybe the Deep 2 or even deeper. Not sure what he's going to call it, but he'll have the Deep, and then he'll call the next one It's Getting Deeper. Then the next one will be called Whoa, We're Really Deep. And then we'll just keep going. Oh, Tide 1? Is that what it says? Tide 1? It does. It says Tide number 1. So we'll see if Tide number 2. This is good. If the second iteration is this blend that's been sitting longer in the French oak, I can't wait to taste that. So, really great release. This is a very crushable bottle. I will enjoy the hell out of that. Thank you so much. But this PFG, man, I give the nose to the PFG, but the palate and the finish. Well, how would I compare this? Nose goes to PFG. Palate, I think, is kind of a wash because they're just completely different. Finish and viscosity, though, goes to the deep. So that's where it kind of falls for me. I wonder if I blend these, what happens? If I blend these, it can't be good. I feel like the PFG is already really oaky, but if I just do like a drop of the deep in the PFG, what does that do? Does it give the PFG less oakiness? Maybe another layer of dark fruit, maybe a little bit more spice? Oh, I tell you what. I'll tell you what. If you guys have these bottles at home, mess around with it. Don't do too much PF. Actually, maybe you could. If I reversed it, I know I'm gonna have to mess around with those, but these could work together. This blend I did was more PFG with a drop of the deep. But what if it was the deep with a drop of PFG? What would that do? I don't know. Let me try that. I'm gonna do the deep. Let's see which one's better. No, that's not it. Where was my? Oh, was that my? Actually, I'm just gonna use the bottle here. Just gonna do a drop of the PFG in here, guys. It's science. We're just gonna do a little science today. Welcome to Science Wednesday on the Master Drum. We're just blending shit. PFD. See how this goes. I don't know. I don't think it's enough. I might need a little more. I'm not getting like that. If I could get like that funky, like Rickhouse oakiness into the deep, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, I think it happened. Yes, it's happening, guys. That's the blend. Hold on, I got to taste it first. Maybe not. It smells better than it tastes. I think more PFG with a little bit of deep is actually the move. It gives PFG more viscosity, a little bit of a spike in the finish, and gives us some dark, like, fruit notes to it. So the deep, so like a 60-40 deep PFG, I think works on the nose, but not the palate. But if you did like 80-20, so if like 80% PFG with 20% deep, that shit is actually pretty good. The proof still isn't where I'd want it to be, but it definitely adds a layer of complexity to it. Try it out. If you have both bottles, give it a go. Jason, throw a splash of drum key in it. Oh my God, we're really going crazy here. Actually, my open drum key's upstairs, or I would. My drum key rye. Oh, it's so beauteous. Look how dark that thing is. I love that rye so much. Okay. I think we did the blend. We did the blend. Wasn't that a Debbie Gibson song? Which one? I only know two Debbie Gibson songs. I'm totally aging myself right now. Only in My Dreams and what's the other one? You can't mix Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. I was a Tiffany guy growing up. I loved Tiffany. Lost in Your Eyes. That's the other Debbie Gibson song, I think. But as far as like, I had three like 80s chicks that I loved. It was Debbie Gibson, Tiffany. Anybody remember Samantha Fox? She was my girl. Samantha Fox. I had posters of her with her ripped jeans. Oh man, Samantha Fox. Whatever happened to her? I wanna have some fun. That girl was naughty. Loved me some Samantha Fox. Foolish Beat. That's it. Adele, Rolling in the Deep. There you go. That's right. Yep. I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun was the like everybody's memory is sparking now. They're like, oh shit, I remember Samantha Fox. You guys know what I'm talking about. Pro tip: never ever admit you were Tiffany. You didn't like Tiffany, the redhead? Come on. Resmash is drum key on the way. So excited. Yes, it is. Oh, was she into girls, Steve? Who knew growing up? Fortunately, Samantha faded into oblivion. My first crush was Cyndi Lauper. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, Robin Sparkles. Also, don't know. Oh, you don't remember Samantha Fox? All right, you're gonna have to look her up, guys. Also, I think, as always, like Kelly Kapowski was a crush. Alyssa Milano when she was younger. All the usual crushes that guys had growing up. Okay, let's get into. Oh, I so want to do this. Let's do it. Country Ham versus Big Easy. So this is all I have left of my Country Ham. Gosh. Release 3 in 2019. Booker's Country Ham. Legendary batch. Oh, Belinda Carlisle. Yeah. Yeah. Robin Sparkles, I know. Yeah, bro, that's like half a bottle, Jason. I wouldn't say it's half a bottle. All right. So if none of you caught my review yet, this Big Easy batch from Booker's, the first release for 2026. It's called the Big Easy batch. It's about Booker's love for New Orleans. He liked to go down there a lot. He had his favorite hot dog cart he liked to go to. Said it was one of the best meals he would ever have. But he also loved the jambalaya, everything that had to do with New Orleans, especially the food. So that's what the Big Easy batch, the story, is wrapped around. However, on top of that, you have just me trying it for the first time. I was completely blown away on how viscous and sweet this Big Easy batch is. I don't think there's been a Booker's batch close to this in quite a while. And I said I wanted to taste it against the Country Ham, so I figured let's do it tonight. the big ham incoming. There we go. I kind of like that, the big ham. I had a Samantha Fox poster on my bedroom door, also Dolly Parton in the 80s. Wowzers. That's such a far, like, it's like two completely different ends of the spectrum. Yeah, Dolly Parton and Samantha Fox. Get it. Oh yeah, the pool scene, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That is, how can you forget that? All right, let me get back into the Big Easy here. even after the stuff I've just drank tonight, the just the I I think what's so impressive with this batch is it's what I wanted in Booker's. Usually you get a Booker's, they're very, as I always talk about, one's either peanut forward, one's a little bit sweet. And either one you get, you could be fine with that. But this is on the sweet side, but the sweetness level here, it's not your standard Booker sweetness. It's like everything has been, again, you talk about something being almost reduced. It's like they put Booker's in a large pot and they reduced it by half to get all these flavors condensed and then bottled it. That's the best way I can describe it. You just don't have flavors like this in Booker's anymore very often. It's kind of cool. The nose is all Booker's. It's peanutty, it's sweet, it's vanilla, it's caramel. But then when you taste it, it's viscous, it's brown, sugary sweet. There might be a little hint of a dark fruit there too. But to me, this is like, it sips like barrel-proof iced tea. It is so friggin' delicious. Like, take like your 4C powder, whatever shitty iced tea you had growing up, or maybe you still drink it now. And, you're supposed to use like a gallon of water for every 8 scoops of mix, whatever the hell I'm sure I'm completely off with the proportions there. But you know what I mean? Like, you have to have a shit ton of water compared to whatever, how much mix you have to add in. This is like you add in your mix, but instead of putting in all the water, you only do about half. So it's like really dark and really syrupy and really sweet. That's what this Booker's feels like. Oh, yeah, Kathy Ireland. Faux show. Hazmat Pat. This is a very cool name, by the way, Hazmat Pat. This is the 2026 Big Easy batch. Batch number 1 for 2026. All right, let's go right to the country ham. Let's see if it gets close to it. Obviously, this has been open for, you're talking years here. Man, country ham still holds the nose. This is brown, sugary sweet. I still give the nose to country ham. The country ham, the brown sugar for me on the Big Easy is all on the palate. But you also get on the nose here on the country ham. Kristen Nolan. To whomever said Kathy Ireland, I'm dying, but yes, I get it. Oh my God, Vic, Vic, go. Can someone send Vic to the corner again? The Big Easy, I think it's a buy. I don't know if I would need to back it up. I think the back it up is going to be based on how much you like it. If I really like something and I think it'll be universally loved, I'll say back it up. But for this, people are weird with Bookers. So, but I definitely think it's worth a buy. All right, I'll give this one a try. Country ham is so legendary. Can a chat about bourbon get even thirstier? Jason, kitchen table, Mama's batch, the unicorn center cut. I've yet to try. I've had center cut. I've had kitchen table. I don't think I've had Mama's batch yet, though. Center cut I got to try a long time ago, and it was very good. The best part about center cut was that it was very viscous, and there's also a little bit. It had a smokiness to it from the barrel char, which I really liked. But it was also a sweet one. I'm telling you, I think that the country ham has one extra layer that the Big Easy batch does not have. But I feel like the Big Easy batch has it like a little bit of it, which is a dark fruit note, which you love to get in Beam. I'm telling you guys, but when you talk about sweetness levels, everybody loved country ham because of not only it was powerful and high proof, but the sweetness that it had, the brown sugar, the that little hint of like dark fruit that it has in it. I think that Big Easy batch is the closest thing that we've had to country ham in a probably ever. So yeah, I'll die on that hill. I'll say it. Big Easy batch is the closest thing to country ham that we've had since country ham. Clip it. It's happening. Comparing them right now, I have tried other Booker's batches and nothing has gotten close to country ham. But this one, I think, actually gets close to it. Now, if the country ham was a fresh crack, this was a fuller bottle, I think it would definitely take down the Big Easy. Probably a little bit more. I think they would be a little bit further apart. But right now, I mean, I got a good amount of whiskey in here, and it's still, the country ham still holds up. Yep. Again, that like barrel proof iced tea, but this is like barrel proof raspberry iced tea with brown sugar, which is why I love the country ham so much. The Big Easy has some of that, but I do think there's a little bit more of the peanutty Booker's funk that's in the Big Easy to go along with the brown sugar. So, guys, I'm not saying every Booker's is going to be really good after this one, but if you've been on the fence about buying a Booker's, this Big Easy batch it's legit. It's legit. You guys want to make the big ham? I'm going to pour a little of that in there. Let's make the big ham. All right, guys, I want to do shit. It's a lot of whiskey tonight. Talk a little quieter. Am I loud? Is it coming through a little too loud? Totally unrelated, but I did back into my parking spot today. Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate that. If you did it really slow, just to annoy everybody, I hope you got a flat tire. Vic, what is going on? Vic, what's wrong with you tonight? Vic, Vic needs to go spend some time with his wife. I think he's just sitting outside eating too many avocados by himself. Come on, Vic. Don't make me... Vic sounds really lonely right now, dude. What's wrong with you, man? Take a cold shower, Vic. Yeah, seriously. Vic needs to... I don't know what's happening. Oh, the price of Booker's just went up is what I meant. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's really good. That's a good blend too. All right, I feel like I'm 2 for 3 with the blend tonight. All right, where are we going here? Let me do a quick What's on the Shelf Wednesday, because I think it's that time. Be a good time to take a little bit of a break because we're going to try the Rare Perfection, and then we're going to get into our turkey mashup tonight, which should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, let's get into it. Here we go. So, really excited to try this. This brand is called Archer Eland, or Archer Eland. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. This is the cast strength rye whiskey. This is sourced from Middle West. So this is Middle West rye whiskey. This is from founder Wendy Pevich. You may have seen her on some YouTube videos. If you followed Penelope for quite a while, she was one of the grand ambassadors for Penelope for quite a while. I met her here in Columbus, and she just released a couple of her first rye whiskey blends, which was really cool. She is extremely gifted, has an amazing palate, really knows flavors, really knows great whiskey. So a little bit about her story. She took a different route to spirits production. She trained as a cardiovascular nurse practitioner. She worked on the front lines during COVID-19. And then after that, she looked for another outlet. I always wanted a creative space where I could kind of disassociate from what we're experiencing. She said she began studying the world of whiskeys, starting a blog that shared bottles outside the mainstream Kentucky products she found for under 50. It's called 51andproof.com. Guys can go check that out. Her interest led her to meet Mike Palladini, co-founder of Penelope Bourbon in 2021. She started working with them and opening up the state of Ohio to Penelope Bourbon. She became a brand ambassador for the company, but she wanted to do more. Said she fell in love with blending about 2 years ago. She decided to do her own. Archer Eland, which launched December 1st, is named for her zodiac sign. She's a Sagittarius represented by an archer, and her Zimbabwean mother's totem animal, the Eland or Eland. It's me and my mother. She's just a tenacious spirit, and her work ethic is unparalleled. And she passed that on to me, she says. So really cool story there. The name also embodies the rye grain. Rye is a tough grain. It can grow under the most difficult conditions. I liken to that. I'm misunderstood, but I have a lot of grit and determination. So let's get into this rye. This is the cask strength rye whiskey. This comes in at a pretty hefty proof, guys. We're looking at 123 proof for this one. If any of you are in Ohio that saw this bottle, did any of you grab one? Let me know in the chat. She also signed the bottles before they were sold, which is really cool. So let's give this a try. Now, I did not know she was bringing these out. I have talked to Wendy quite a bit, and I really thought that, she had obviously a very, very, her palate is amazing. Everything that she was doing. So, Jason, is that 375 milliliters? What, the bottle? No, it's a 750. The bottle's beautiful. Check this out. It almost looks like a tequila bottle, though, right? Because you can't see the whiskey in it. Again, going back to our conversation before, where we were talking about how people want to see the whiskey. This one is completely covered, but it's very elegant. It does look like a tequila bottle. Yeah, no lighting getting in there. So, all right, let's dive into this one, guys. Yeah, it looks like scotch a little bit, right? For sure, I can see that. All right, let's get into this one a little bit. Let me make sure. These are still hanging around Ohio, I think. So let's get into this. Smells like a very sweet rye. So this was on sale. I got this for shoot. This was $80. $80. I'm pretty sure this was 80. Yep, $80 for this one. So let's get into this one here. It's a very sweet rye. I mean, again, this is sourced from Middle West. So she did this blend with Middle West distillate. The Cashmere rye is something else. It says Seabus, Ohio. What's up, Seabus? Oh, that is a rye. That is spicy. It is. So it's got this blend of like toasted marshmallow and fennel. Not like black licorice, but more of a fennel type, like a roasted fennel. It's got like this sweet fennel note to it, which I really love. It's got caraway seed in there. I feel like I'm picking up too. It's herbal. It's spicy. It's bright, but it's also a little dark at the same time. It's got a really nice profile for a rye. Yeah, this is a rye drinker's rye. This has all the spices, guys. Clove. The one thing I really don't feel like I'm getting, I don't feel like I'm getting like mint. Usually I get mint in a rye, but this is more on that herbal side of rye. Got the clove, you got the breadiness that rye has, the caraway seed, again, that fennel, that roasted fennel note that it has. But I feel like it's that with like a layer of toasted marshmallow on top, if that makes sense. Because there is an inherent sweetness that you get on top of the entire experience, which is really cool. And the more I sip it, I feel like the sweeter it gets. Maybe a little bit of dill. Little dill, though. Little dill there. That's good. This is this is a very powerful rye. But, I mean, this is a rye drinker's rye. If you're a Kentucky rye drinker, if you're like, oh, I like that 51% rye stuff, this is not going to be for you. You have to love rye whiskey. This is a very bold, delicious, sweet, and herbal rye whiskey. So if that's your move, and you're in Ohio, this might be one you want to check out. Really nice. Great job, Wendy. I really dig this one. I mean, it's a nice change up. There are so many low rye ryes these days. Everyone's kind of, I'm not going to say like over 95.5 rye, but there's a lot of that out there too. So these new ryes coming to the market, whether it be the Green River cast strength ryes or Middle West pumpernickel rye, it's just a nice departure. Yeah, that's good. That's good. This bottle, this is not a cocktail rye. This is a sit back, relax. Might be a great cigar rye too. If you guys have sweet cigars or even spicy cigars, this could be a great pairing with that. Just saying. Give it a go. John, yeah, I know. What I meant was 95.5 MGP. That's what I meant. I understand it's 95.5 Middle West, but I'm saying 95.5 MGP. Bell of Bedford 13-year. Yep, that's another great example of a really good high-aged rye drinker's rye for sure. Sweet Cindy, cheers, Jason. Cheers, all. High school graduation coming up. Back from a family dinner. There you go, Sweet Cindy. Rare Perfection 10 on deck. And then we're going to get into the turkey, as promised. All right, let's get into the Rare Perfection. I paid $225 for this bottle in Kentucky because, and I'm completely blaming Bourbon Pursuit for this shit. Bourbon Pursuit sent me this. They didn't send me the bottle. They sent me on my way to find this bottle because I heard how good their review was. Now, I didn't realize Fred Minnick also loved his sample he got of this. But when I went there, I'm like, do you have any of that Rare Perfection 10-year? And they said, yeah, we just restocked it. So now here's the thing. What I didn't know is that there's different batches of this. This, I believe, is batch 2, 130.2 proof on this thing, which I think is different than the one those guys tasted. So it's a little bit of a different proof point, but I feel like if they're using the same lot of barrels, I'm willing to roll the dice on it. So let's try it. I tried one recently. It's real good. Cheers. Salute. Sweet Sydney. Okay. Before we get into this, guys, let's get into a couple of news stories. Not really much going around. You guys might have heard of a big release that came out, which is this crazy bottle. So let me wait. Where'd it go? Sorry, guys. There we go. Wild Turkey Austin Nichols Archives edition, age 16 years. The reason why you guys are seeing so many reviews for this is because Campari had a embargo on it. It lifted yesterday, so that's why everybody released their videos. So, including myself, I usually wait a little bit, but I felt like I was getting so many messages. You're going to release your video today. You're going to release your video today. So I waited to a little bit later in the day to release mine because I felt like everybody's released at the same time, so I wanted to get mine out a little bit later. So that's what I did. And when you look at the comment section, all of it, I mean, 80% of the comment section is complaining about the price at $400, which I totally understand. It's crazy. So what kind of puzzles me is sometimes people will write, I'd rather just buy 4 bottles of Rare Breed. I was like, okay. Or I'd rather buy 4 bottles of Russell's Picks. I was like, okay, well, Russell's Picks can be about $75, $80. So if you buy 4 of those, you're going to get pretty close to $400. So is it the principle? You just don't want to pay $400 for 1 bottle? Is that all it is? But honestly, I understand. It's a tough economy right now. It's challenging. So to bring these bottles out for $400, I totally get it. But that seems to be the number one complaint. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to stop people from buying it. I think the people that don't want to buy it, that's obviously that's their decision. I think it's worth every freaking penny because I think it's that good. But that's me, and I'm also a turkey head. I feel like it's because that doesn't leave much meat on the bone for the flippers or maybe speed of sale. I think that's a big part of it too, Danville Bourbon. A couple of commenters did mention that they liked the price was high because maybe it would keep the flippers a little bit more reserved when coming to, setting the price for this. But we'll have to see what happens down the line. Who knows? I haven't seen these on secondary quite yet, but I'm sure we will very soon as these start rolling out in different states. So I have yet to see the actual finished product in person. So I'm eager to see what the canister looks like with the actual gold foil on the inside of the door, and see what that looks like. But it's a small bottle for $400. Yeah, $800 easy. I think it's going to be more than that in the beginning. I predicted $1,200, maybe $1,500 at most off the bat, but we'll see what happens. What's also funny is that it's made cheesy gold foil, the actual cheesy gold foils. Those were going for $1,400, $1,500. Now those have spiked up, so there's been kind of a, I don't know, I guess like a placebo effect in a way, where the popularity of people wanting the Austin Nichols Archives edition has affected the price for the actual 80s and 90s cheesy gold foil bottles, where now we're seeing those jump up to $2,500 to $3,000. It's just so crazy, like who decides to do this shit? It always boggles my mind. You have the Austin Nichols Archives, so somebody's like, oh, well, that means that's going to make that bottle go up in value. So they put it out there for that value, and people are actually buying it for those prices. It's so like uncanny to me. Like I can't wrap my head around it. You have this unregulated market where people just are setting prices based on what? Just because that just came out, that means the price of that, the value is going to go up on that. If anything, that should make the price go down on it, not up. But it's really crazy. It will sell in microseconds. Calumet 18 is still around at MSRP. Yeah, Calumet 18 is still $400. My thing is to find really great tasting whiskey without spending insane money. Says Bourbon Brew. Flippers are fishing for morons and seems to be plenty of fish. That's a good point, Justin. Let them sit and the price will come down, but no one lets them sit. Yeah. As much as people complain about the prices, these just continue to sell. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens with it as it starts rolling out. But again, another interesting release that we're going to get to see as it hits the market here, probably the next couple weeks. Let's get into this one right here. Heaven Hill, again, this is another kind of puzzling thing for me with Heaven Hill. They are really going all in on this grain to glass stuff. So this is, Heaven Hill declares 2026 the year of wheat with new grain to glass bourbon releases. So on Tuesday, Heaven Hill unveiled the 2026 Grain and Glass lineup with 3 limited edition wheated bourbons for 2026. That's right, 3 limited editions. Heaven Hill Grain and Glass Kentucky Straight wheated bourbon. Heaven Hill Grain to Glass Specialty Barrel wheated bourbon. Heaven Hill Grain to Glass Extra Age 9-year-old wheated bourbon. The flagship 3rd edition wheated bourbon was distilled in 2019, aged 6 years, number 3 char barrels, bottled non-chill filtered 107.8 proof for $100. The specialty release will take a different approach by aging entirely in French oak barrels rather than using secondary finishing. Also distilled in 2019, this whiskey is bottled at 109.2 proof, suggested price of $130. Then the most limited release is the 9-year, 125 proof, aged in number 3 char barrels. It's bottled at barrel proof. It says I'm not sure if it's actually going to be 125, but that's going to be $150. Mash bill 52% corn, 35% wheat, and 13% malted barley. It's just interesting to me how these just keep releasing. Nobody's talking about them. Like I haven't talked to one person that's ever been like, dude, did you get the new grain to glass? That shit's you have to get that. Those words have been said never. Why is this grain to glass such a priority for Heaven Hill? I don't get it. And why are you putting wheated bourbon in French oak, dude? No. Don't ruin the French oak with that shit. The first wheated release of AJ's GTG is my favorite thus far and the only one I actually purchased. They are everywhere here on the shelf, says Whiskey Nose. These grain and glasses are pretty bad value. I think the value is one thing that people really aren't too crazy about it, but just overall, like, there's just no excitement around it. I don't see people talking about it. Every time I go to the gift shop in Heaven Hill for the last, I must have been there at least 6 or 7 times in the last year, and they're always just sitting there. No one cares about them. I just don't understand why they're so, they're pushing it so much. It's interesting. Have you heard about the 24-year Barn Barrels National Barrel Company got their hands on? Yes, I have one on the way. Wings and whiskey. I'm getting one. Still seeing the Chinquapin. Yep, Mike T. Nice try spelling that, but good job. I'll give it to you. Nice try, but nailed it. But yes, I still see those sitting around. The first grain to glass wheated was good. The rye was good too, but the price is suspect. Second release was proof down too much. First release was great. Just so wheated at Kroger's for $58.99. Yes, it was 2025, but still. Legacy distillers should stop trying to be craft. The grain and glass rye was awful. Even the staff of the distillery said no one likes that one in the flight. They do at the new place. Chink Wyman. keep going. Don't ruin the French oak with that wheated bourbon. Make his private selection wood finishing. Are we a fucking joke to you? Oh shit, that smells good. Okay, rare perfection. That's funny. Let's get into this here. 3 new golf. If you guys are golf heads, 3 new golf themed whiskeys are releasing from Penelope. So this is the Bourbon Tease. Penelope Bourbon Tease Up Limited Edition Architects of Golf series. So this was last week. Penelope Bourbon expanded its Stay Finished Architect series with a trio of bottlings paying homage to golf. The whiskey is named Hole 1, Hole 2, and Hole 3. I don't know why that made me laugh. I feel like I'm in high school again. Hole 1, Hole 2, and Hole 3 are imagined as something deeper than a passing nod to golf season. They pay tribute to the brand's founding in 2018 when founders Mike Palladini, Danny Polisi dreamt up the venture. Over 18 holes of golf, Penelope would eventually be acquired by MGP Ingredients, is now one of the most sought-after bourbon favorites on the market. Okay. Hole 1 is described as the most approachable, featuring flavors of sweet oak, roasted nuts, vanilla. Okay. Hole 2 leans into more of the structured profile with hints of dark chocolate, French toast, spice. And Hole 3 embraces its stave influences with aromas of caramel, red fruit, and flavors of chocolate. It's a nod to the subtleties of the game and where some of our best ideas took shape. The bourbons will roll out through selected retailers later this month at a suggested retail price of $60 each, or $59.99. The new releases describes them as the first 3 bottles in the collection, so keep your eyes peeled for future releases, potentially numbering all the way up to 18 holes. All the holes. I'm sorry. Are we going to have 18 of these? Yes, Whiskey BS. That's what's happening. There's going to be 18 holes. Oh my god. So I will say about the Architect series, Penelope's Architect series has been the epitome of a bottle that started off not that great and has gotten better and better and better and better over time. Either they figured something out, the casts got better, and I think a lot of people pass on Architect past the first couple of releases because they were just kind of done with the, they weren't really crazy about the first couple, but those releases have gotten way better over time. So I don't know. Hole 3 sounds pretty good. We're going from about the holes tonight. I can't take it with you guys. This is nuts. Everything in whiskey is just naughty. Okay, let's go to some new bourbon release labels. Still Austin. Looks like they're coming out with another limited edition blended by Nancy Fraley. I'm excited for this one. New Still Austin limited edition cast strength. This one looks badass. The snake, the corn. That's Still Austin kills it with the labels. I think this thing is going to be pretty cool looking. That's going to be one I'm going to want to keep your eye out for. Still Austin cast strength bourbon is just always really, really good. We have this one. As if we needed another rare character. Rare Character Prologue is now coming out. 8-year, 98.3 proof. Not sure what the pricing is going to be on this one, but it looks like Rare Character is bringing us yet another label that we have to keep track of. So Prologue, Rare Character, also coming out. So this that logo on the in the middle, which is it just basically shows the center cut of a tree. So when you cut a tree, that's what the pattern looks like in the middle. That was very prevalent in their limited edition series whiskeys that you see, and some of those have been wheated bourbons, rye bourbons, some different types of whiskeys. But now they have a Prologue edition. I'm not sure if this makes it any more special or it's a lower proof. I'm not sure if they're proofing this down. I guess we'll see as we go along. And the weirdest label I think I've ever come across is this. The House of Tamworth is releasing a 90 proof, it literally says goat milk flavored whiskey. I have a lot of questions about this. I don't know what this is. This was on the TTB. This is real. I don't know what the hell this is, but it's like a little carton of goat milk flavored whiskey. What does this mean? What is it? I have a lot of questions and I'm scared. If you in a few months, if you guys see posts about this, just remember you saw it here, and it was also on Coming Whiskey. So Jake posted this on Coming Whiskey, which is where I saw it. I have no idea what the hell that is. No freaking clue. 200 milliliters at a time. We just jumped a shark. Yeah, I don't know what that is and why it's considered goat milk flavored whiskey. What is it? If anyone from the House of Tamworth is watching, please reach out to me at themashanddrum@gmail.com. I want to learn more. What is this? What the hell is this? All right, that's over. I think I've scared everyone enough here on the stream. All right, let's go to the bourbon meme of the week, guys. We have 2 of them. We didn't do one last week. This one, both of these actually made me laugh. One of them I just saw yesterday, so I figured we're going to do 2 of them. Here's the first one. I'm not saying I drink too much bourbon, but my funeral might have tasting notes. And it's like the picture's so random. It's a guy wearing, Apple earbuds, and he looks like he's watching TV. But and it looks like it's Christmas time. I'm not sure what this photo is, but I'm not saying I drink too much bourbon, but my funeral might have tasting notes. I kind of dig that one. And then somebody made his own. Well, I'll just show it to you and you guys can figure out the puzzle. You ready for this one? Here's the puzzle. That's right. Somebody made a turkey cheesy gold foil. This was their version of it. Instead of getting the bottle, they have all the ingredients right here to make their own. Looks great. Looks wonderful. But the fact that somebody went through the time and effort to put this together, I thought was just amazing. So there you go. Bourbon memes of the week, guys. Isn't that hot? It's Frank and Charlie from It's Always Sunny New Business. Cheesy go foil. All right, let's get into this Rare Perfection, and then it's turkey time. Speaking of turkey, so the biggest note that came out of me wanting to get this was the sweet oak. Ryan and Kenny both said the sweet oak was absolutely outrageous on this, and I agree. There's so much sweet oak on this. It's rickhousey, but without the. It's not like that dark rickhouse. It's a very, very sweet rickhouse type of funk we have it. Yeah, Timu turkey. I like that, Justin. Tons of barrel spice here. Anybody know where this is sourced from? I'm guessing Bardstown. I'm sorry, not Bardstown, but 1792 or Barton. That's what I'm guessing. Jason, I was down at Wild Turkey in March. I met Bo. He said you were going to be down there the next day. Were you picking a barrel? Says Bourbon and Burn. Yeah, I was actually down there for a family trip. My girlfriend's brother turned 50 years old, and we did a trip down there, and Bo was kind enough to give us a private tour. Bo is just the best. He really is. I mean, it is spicy, but it's very, very much. The sweet oak saves it. If you didn't have that sweet oak, it would just be all baking spice. This is cinnamon, black pepper, maybe a little red pepper too. A little rye heavy. I'm definitely getting some rye spice here. Let's give it a try. Oh, it is. It is a sweet oak caramel black pepper bomb. That's what it is. You don't need to pick out 120 notes on this one. That's all you need to know. It is sweet oak, a little bit of a dustiness to it. Just freaking caramel and toffee for days, and then just black pepper and spice all in the finish. That is it $225 good though? I don't know. I feel like I want a couple more layers for $225, but I could see why the guys like this so much. Kenny loves oak, so I think that's why he loves this. It's got like this creme brulee, vanilla, burnt brown sugar. And listen, guys, I don't know how much the batches differ from 1 to 2 to 3. I'm not sure how many they made of this. I just went and I saw it and I grabbed it. But I don't know. It's one of those. This is one of those bottles that if you're in Kentucky, you might want to stop and grab. I know it's expensive, but it's definitely different. I don't think I've really come across anything like this this year. Minnick says it's in the conversation for Bourbon of the Year, and it really, really have a hard time seeing that. Makes me think lot number 1 might be significantly better. That's what I'm worried about, Wings and Whiskey. I don't see this as a Whiskey of the Year contender at all. For $225, I feel like it should be closer to that. $10 super chat. Still catching up on the stream, but we'll love to see comparisons. Cheesy Go Foil to the latest. GF bottles, new Dusty versus Old Dusty. It's at a Russell 15 and Beacon. Matt Robinson, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but they're different whiskeys, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. Well, it seems to be sold out anywhere that does e-commerce. My bottle says lot 3, 129. Yeah, again, I don't know what the difference is from lot to lot. I would have to ask. Maybe I could ask them for a sample of lot 1. But I feel like for 225, at least this one, and again, mine is 130.2 proof. It's very good, but I want some more layers. This feels to me like more of a $125 to $150 whiskey, more than 2.25. But again, preservation has always been very pricey. I don't know. I kind of mixed emotions about this one. I like it, but knowing I spent $225 for it, I don't know if it's a $225 whiskey. Here's what I'll say. Go to Bardstown, go to Preservation, go to the bar, and have a pour of this before you buy it. Try before you buy. This is the most try before you buy whiskey I could tell you to go and try. This is a try before you buy. It's the epitome of try before you buy because it's pricey. Get a pour of Preservation before you pull a trigger on that. I don't know what lot it is. I don't know what whiskey they have. I don't know if they're still selling, but do not buy that without trying it. I was an idiot not knowing that there was more than the first lot. I just grabbed what I could and I walked out, and then I realized it was a different proof than the one they had. I was like, shit, mine might be a different blend. It might not even taste as good as theirs. But this one has good attributes, but for $225, I want this to have way more layers than it does. Womp womp. Okay. Hey guys, I'm just telling you the truth. Telling it like it is. As always. I could see it maybe being a little willity. This live is running late tonight. Oh my God, it's 10:53. All right, guys, sorry. Been doing a lot of yapping. A lot of whiskey. This isn't going to be blind. But I do want to break down the differences between because everyone is asking me, what's the difference, Russell 15, Beacon, blah, blah, blah. So let's run through it real quick. So I'm going to put that's a rare character glass. I'm not putting my sample in a rare character glass. Sorry. Put that there. Russell's 15. Beacon. Russell Single Rickhouse, C&E. And my Cheesy Go foil's over there. Or is it? Yeah, I'm not going to do Cheesy Go foil, the original Cheesy Go foil. It's a completely different whiskey, guys. But let's go through these here. All right, let me break it down for you as best as I can. Because I know at $400, everyone's going to want to know. The first question everyone's getting is, I could just buy Russell's 15 now for $250 to $300. Why am I spending $400 on that? So I'm going to break these down as best as I can for you guys to just let you know the subtle differences. Will it change your mind whether you want to buy the $400 Austin Nichols archives or not? That's up to you. But let me go into the Austin Nichols first. This is the Austin Nichols archives. Yeah, I don't know how I pick out my favorite child on this. Tell me where to buy Russell Reserve 15, $250 to $300, says John Legabo. Oh, no, I'm not saying you get it for that. I'm saying that people were writing that in the comments. So I don't know. Is that the going rate for Russell's 15? I thought that bottle was up to like $400 by now. The nose on the archives, it's like the most perfect turkey nose because it's cherry cola. It's orange, but like that singed orange peel note. It's toffee. It's got this buttery quality to it, which gives it kind of like an old school like feel to it. All right, Russell's 15. What Russell's 15 has that this doesn't is a very rich fermented fruit note. So when I say that, those like medicinal cherry, almost blackberry type of notes that you get in the Russell's 15 isn't as prevalent in the Austin Nichols archives. The Austin Nichols archives will give you more of a cherry cola note, but not like this deep, funky, like dark fruit note that you get in the Russell's 15. I don't feel like the Austin Nichols, as many times as I sip this, it never really gets there. I don't really feel like it tries to get there, but it's just kind of a different feel and vibe to it. Let me go to the Beacon. So as I said in my review, the Austin Nichols archives leans way more towards the Beacon versus Russell's 15. Russell's 15 between the three is the outlier. Beacon has the oak, a lot of sweet oak to it, a little bit of the cherry cola. Man, but there's an extra level of sweetness that's on the archives that the Beacon doesn't have. So if you're kind of gauging it, it's kind of somewhere in between Russell 15 and the Beacon, which is also what I mentioned. Let's go to the Camp Nelson E. Now remember, this was a majority of the barrels, 400-ish plus barrels were used, mostly Camp Nelson F barrels. This was all from Bruce Russell. He told us all this. Mostly from Camp Nelson F with some other, barrels mixed in from other Camp Nelson warehouses. But the majority were all Camp Nelson F, which is kind of cool. Let's go to the Camp Nelson E, because even as much as I love the Camp Nelson F, I actually think I like this Camp Nelson E a little bit more. So I'm going to get into this one here. I do have CNF, but I don't have it close by. A CNF is in my bunker. So CNE, while freaking amazing on the nose, it's just not as, it's not even like near as elegant as the archive edition. So I would actually put these into two different sides. You have Beacon and Cheesy Gold Foil, or I should say Gold Foil Edition. I'll just call it the archive. There's so many fucking acronyms right now out there. So the Austin Nichols archives and the Beacon, I think, are on one side of the equation, and Russell's 15 and Camp Nelson E are on the other side of the equation. So while you can compare which one you like more, I think it's going to come down to your palate. If you like more in your face, more of a powerful type of influence on the nose, then you're going to lean more towards Russell 15 and the Camp Nelson Single Rickhouse E, or probably even the F as well. If you're looking more for that age and that wild turkey oak that is more prevalent, then it's going to be Beacon and Camp Nelson and the archive. Now let's taste them here real quick. I'm actually go reverse order. I'm going to start with the Single Rickhouse. The cola note that's in this is prevalent in the archives. Cola, again, that dark orange peel, that caramelized orange that's in here is also in the archives as well. So there are some similarities here. But the one thing that Camp Nelson doesn't have is this velvety age and that buttery quality that I'm getting in the archives. This thing has the dark, that dark orange peel. It's got the cherry cola note. It's got great spice. The oak spice from the Camp Nelson Rickhouses, that's where you get that beautiful spice from. Those high floor, spicy barrels that you get in the from Camp Nelson are definitely here in the Single Rickhouse. All right, let's go to the Beacon. There is no doubt that the Beacon is very good, but it focuses more on spice, oak, definitely the age. Remember, it's 10 and 14 years old in there. So while it has that and it has some great viscosity, it's lacking maybe 2 to 3 more layers that the Archives has. So if you loved Beacon, this thing is probably about 2 steps higher than Beacon, at least to me. But experience overall, the Archives leans more towards Beacon than it does the Camp Nelson single rickhouse. All right, the big question. Let's go to Russell's 15. I haven't done this comparison yet, so I'm doing this with you guys. Russell's 15 is so stupid. Okay. Russell's 15. Let me get one more sip here. No blend again tonight. Too much whiskey. All right. Russell's 15, again, I think to my point earlier, this is going to be the more in-your-face, more powerful, more pleasing whiskey, especially for if you're a proof head or if you just like, bold, super bold flavors. The fermented fruit, the dark, sweet oak it has, that oak funk that it has, there is a funky, dusty quality to Russell's 15, which is why I think people loved it so much. But with that said, the Archives edition, I honestly think that the Archives edition is kind of an amalgam of all 3 of these. That's right. All these drinks in, I just said the word amalgam. That's right. I'm a professional. Learn. Just kidding, guys. That dark fruit note that you get in the Russell's 15, I think is what is going to kind of make or break the comparison between these two. I honestly, I don't think Camp Nelson E, as good as single rickhouse Camp Nelson E is, it's not nearly as layered as these two, and as much as I love Beacon, it's not nearly layered as these two either. So, delicious turkey, modern turkey situations here, but this, spell that backwards, please. Hey, what's up, Matt? There are shades of Russell's 15 in the Archives, but it comes in the form of like black cherry cola. It's not that dark, again, that I hate to keep harping on it, but like that funky fermented fruit note that you get in the 15. And some people might like that more than what you get in the Archives. In the Archives, it's more of like it's part of the layers, whereas in the Russell's 15, it's just more upfront and in your face. The oak in the Russell's 15 is also different than what you get in the Archives. The oak in the Russell's 15 is actually a little bit more, I think it's actually darker. It's a darker oak funk that you get in the Russell's 15 with that blackberry, with that long finish, with those really like big flavors. Russell's 15 is a big bourbon. It really is. Now, in comparison to the Archives, the one thing that the 15 doesn't have that the Archives does have is more of these, like, think of it like in the terms of cake. Like, to me, Russell's 15 is like a Black Forest cake. It's dark. It's dense. It's got a lot of, like, black cherry, blackberry, oak. Everything's dark in it. Whereas the Archives, to me, while not as dark, I feel like it's a higher layered cake to it. There's more going on. There's more sweet oak. There's this cherry cola note. There's an orange note. There's a very very like prevalent spice kick to it. But the best part of it that makes it feel like something a little bit more, I don't know, something out of the 80s and 90s. There's a buttery quality that I was only getting on the finish in the beginning, but now I'm getting it throughout. Getting it from front to back. On top of everything, there's like this buttery glaze that is just purely on top of everything. Stretch kicks, Spike Air 4s. It's not my thing, man. I'm not doing it. I love my brick by bricks, the first ones. I am not going. I'm not going for the 4s. They just look too much like the. They just look too much like the Fire Red 4s to me, honestly. For me, I don't know which one I like better. I think it could go like either way. I'm not saying Russell Reserve 15 is better, but the buttery note, the old school factor to this Archives, I think is what makes it special. And I think we haven't had that really in a lot of modern. All three of these cannot say they have that note that's in the Archives. That's the outlier, is that buttery, sweet, viscous type of. Remember, it's no slouch. It's 120 proof, guys. We're not talking like this is 101 proof like the original Cheesy Gold foil was. It's 120 proof. You know, Russell's 15 is 117.2. So let's not act like it's too low proof for me. No. The gold edition, the gold foil edition is a big whiskey. And I think that when you try it, listen, if you want to say that Russell Reserve 15 is better, I get it. But I think that the gold foil Archive for me this is the most perfect wild turkey profile I've ever tasted. It gives me everything that I've had over the last however many years in one glass. Russell's 15 does a lot of great things very well, but I think they're integrated within the Archives and just does it a little bit. I'm not going to say does a little bit better, but I do think there's another layer in the Archives that makes it that much more special. Can you start over? I just got here. 15 is great, but I think the single Rick and 13 from last year beat it in my blinds. Depends on your palate, I'd say. The 13 from last year didn't do it for me. They used 13, a little bit of 14 year. It didn't have that age for me. Is it crushable? Oh, it's very crushable like Russell Reserve 15, for sure. Turkey's putting out some of the best whiskey year after year now. I feel like Russell Reserve is very off-profile turkey now, 1150 on secondary. Not really. Yeah, Russell's Reserve 15 is still going to go down as one of the best expressions ever created by wild turkey. But I'll say this, guys, it's different. It's different. It's different versus this gold foil edition. The gold foil edition, just think of everything that you've tasted from turkey in the last several years and combine it into one perfect profile. And that's what the Archives is. It's you know, I don't want to keep building it up and the hype and everything, but it's that good to me. It just really is. It's, you know why? Because it gives you the layers and it gives you all the layers that you want of flavors without having to be like this 130 proof or super dark. Like what Russell's 15 does is very well, but it's very 2-3 note. Archives gives you very powerful flavor profiles, but you're talking 5, 6, 7 different types of notes you could pull out of the Archives versus the Russell 15. But if all you want is power and like heft, Russell's 15 is going to be your thing. But do not sleep on the Archives. It is that good. But does it beat 101? Yeah. Stretch kicks. So you're saying the brick by brick 4s are the gold foil and this for Russell's is 15? Yeah, a little bit. I did just get these stretch kicks. I've been searching for a pair of these for a while. I didn't overpay, but I paid a lot for these. Here you go, buddy. These are the Nike SB's Chunky Dunkies. That's right. These are a collaboration that Nike did with Ben & Jerry's ice cream a bunch of years ago. And I finally got a pair in 10.5. So you see the cow hits and the melted the ice cream melty Nike symbol, and kind of got the tie dye on the inside for Ben and Jerry's. So yeah, finally got these. I'm done buying shoes for a while after these, dude. Shit. I'll buy one. Probably won't open it until I try it somewhere. While the Russell Reserve 15 pallet, is a pallet free. Gotta have the Us Nichols are, of course, it's good, but the homage and Bruce is just great. True whiskey. Yeah, I mean, what he did here is completely. What Bruce did here is, it's amazing. It really is amazing. Turn on whiskey channel, and I see shoes gay. Tommy, you should go hang out with Big Vic. He might need you right now. Had the chance to hang out with Bruce while picking a barrel in the Rick House and sipping some Beacon plus 88 Austin Nichols. It was easy to see how excited and confident he was about the archive release. Those look like shoes Steve Oker. Are those from the Disney store? What the fuck are those Toy Story shoes that you get? I love you guys. And even right now, like smelling the gold foil. It's the buttery quality on the back end that makes it special. It really is. I haven't had that note in any of these modern turkey releases. So I asked Bruce when we had the interview and we were all online talking to Bruce. The first question I asked was, really quick, really funny thing. Eddie Russell, Bruce's dad, was kind of annoyed that. So Eddie greenlit the project in 2015 for this archives. So we're going to see Christmas Rye again. We're going to see, who knows, the donut bottle, the American Spirit 15-year bottled and bond, the Beyond Duplication. All of those legendary releases are on the table. So who knows what we're going to see. But Bruce shared that his dad was like, well, of course you got it easy blending around. And he was saying this to Bruce. He's like, yeah, of course you got it easy blending all this shit right now because they wouldn't let me have those Camp Nelson barrels back in the day. He's like, you come along. They're like, yeah, sure, blend with the Camp Nelson barrels. So he was a little bit annoyed that happened, which I thought was kind of a cool story. But what Bruce also said, I had asked him, was there something locked in your mind that you wanted to try to replicate what was in the original Cheesy Gold foils? And to anyone watching here, there's no way in modern whiskey you can replicate what Cheesy Gold foil was back in the 80s and early 90s. The grain is different. The oak is different. The fermentation is different. The atmosphere is different for aging. It's just different. So you're never going to be able to replicate it. What we make today is a much more elegant spirit versus what they make today. What we make today is a much more elegant spirit than what they made back in the 80s and 90s. There's no way around it. You're never going to be able to replicate that flavor profile. Now, while you can get shades of it, which I think they did get in this gold foil edition, they're not going to nail what the regular Cheesy Gold for the original Cheesy Gold foil tasted like. It's just going to be impossible. So anybody thinking that this should taste like that gold foil edition is crazy. It's just not. That's not going to happen. So if you're disappointed by that, then don't buy it. But that's an impossible feat given the time and the time of modern bourbon that we're in. I like the William Heavenhill 19 way better than the Russell's 15. Also, HH22 is amazing. Bruce somehow still feels like one of us, yet his future is locked. I feel like he has real passion regardless of his position. Yeah, he's super passionate about it, and he's super proud, and all he wants to do is make good whiskey. Somebody did say let's compare it to Heavenhill 22. So let's do that, and we'll call it a night, because I've had a lot of whiskey tonight. So, because, Cheesy Gold foil, or shit, I keep calling it that, Austin Nichols Archives Gold Foil Edition is definitely up for a Whiskey of the Year. contender. Let's put it against the Heaven Hill 22. Let's see how it does. It's a lot of bottles to move. All right. We are just pulling out gems tonight, guys. This has been a pretty epic. Should I auction off, like, for you guys to have a night in the whiskey room here? You can just fucking drink whatever you want. Would you guys auction that off? Would you guys want to do that experience? I'll do it. I'll do that shit. I'll auction off. You guys can spend a night in here and drink whatever the hell you want. Does that sound like something you guys want to do? He's like, yep. What's the output of the CGF? Will we see it nationwide? Yes, Tupel Runner. Remember, they discontinued Master's Keep. This is kind of the new Master's Keep, this new archive series. 400 plus barrels were used to make the gold foil edition, this Austin Nichols Archives. Bruce said 10,000 plus bottles. So you're right in that same realm that Master's Keep was. This isn't like a 3,000, 4,000 bottle, super limited special release. Yes, it's a special release, but it's not as limited as you would think. So, yep. Shit, I'm down. Did we just become best friends? You'd find me on the floor passed out. How many beacons were out there? Around the same, Spammy. So you're looking around the same number for it. You know what? Maybe I'll do that for the fundraiser for Blenaganon. Maybe I'll do that for the fundraiser. I will auction off a night with me in the whiskey room. That sounds really gay. Sorry. A night in the Mash and Drum whiskey room, or a day in the Mash and Drum whiskey room. You could drink whatever the hell you want in here, and I don't know. We'll get pizza. We'll hang out. Maybe I'll do that for the auction for the fundraiser. I think that'd be pretty cool. Here we go. I said too many things. Okay. Know your worth, Jason. We'll call it Power Bottle Night. You guys are such assholes. I love you. Close optional, says Nathan. Big Vic just won. The way Big Vic is acting right now, he's like, I should probably do this auction right now because I feel like Big Vic is going to pay big money right now. Big Vic needs Jesus. Big Vic is, this is closer than I thought it would be. Can we pick what you wear too? Prepare your onesies. I'm sorry. I'm picturing Big Vic in a onesie with the butt flap, the ass flap. Oh my god. Oh, I'm tearing up. That's funny shit. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god, Big Vic in a onesie. That dude looked like a fucking Teletubby. Oh my god. All right. I need to get off this live stream. Here we go. No one wants to see that. I'm with you. All right, so these are a lot closer than I thought it would be. I can't even be serious right now. All right, let's try the Heaven Hill 22. Heaven Hill 22 is cherry, oak, spice. I think it also has a little bit of that cherry cola note. Yeah, Kevin O'Malley, I think I'm going to do that. I think actually that I'm going to put that up as a part of the fundraiser. And here's the thing: wherever you're coming from, I will fly you in. You could stay at a hotel, whatever you want to do. And I will let you guys hang out. Maybe I'll do a couple different spots. You guys could come over, hang out, and you guys can just freaking go crazy in the whiskey room. And I'll even let you go in the bunker and pick out any bottles in there you want to try. So, shit, we're gonna do that for the fundraiser. Hell yeah! All right, let's do it. It's happening. The thing that the Heaven Hill 22 does not have is that old school butter note that the Archives does have. The Pretty Woman package. I'm saying it. This is better than the Heaven Hill 22. There's more layers to it. It's better. It's better. Holy shit, it's so good. I thought we were passing out in your house. Okay, yeah, I mean, if you need to stay here after drinking a gallon of whiskey, I get it. If I throw you in an Uber to go home, just be prepared for that. All right, guys. We're going to call it a night. We had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Had about 450 people watching for the most part. So this is a big live stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks to all my amazing patrons for the support. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share it with. Guys, I will see you right here next week on the Master and Drum. Not sure what we're going to do, but we'll figure something out. So always a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. So cheers. Hope you had a lot of fun tonight, and can't wait to see you guys next week. As always, be good to each other. Cheers, guys.